welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who during his 7 seasons of playing for the Chicago Cubs never had his last name pronounced correctly. It's John Levengood.
Well, boy, I'm not really a baseball guy, but all you really have me thinking about is the Crash Palace people from The Last Knock who can never pronounce our podcast name.
Well, I went to a Braves-Cubs game last night, and it made me think about Rookie of the Year. And the pitcher in that movie is called Henry Rowengartner. And during the year, the coaches always called him Gardenhoser, Rutabaga, Scrubbenhauser. So
wait, Rookie of the Year, was that the dude from American Pie?
Yeah, and he was a pitcher.
That Ian Thomas Nicholas?
Thomas Ian Nicholas, and he broke his arm. And the coach always called him Gardenhoser or Rutabaga. Daniel Stern's always getting stuck in places, choking on sunflower seeds. Gary Busey's normal.
Gary Busey is never normal.
So when you were a pitcher, everyone called you Leavenworth.
I'm the pitcher in this?
Yeah, well, you know those big pitchers that come in like the 7th, 8th inning, and they just
I'm like the Babe Ruth build relief pitcher.
Well, no, John, you were a skinny guy. I mean, you're not big now, but like back in the day. Like,
so back then, I have
pictures with you where you were spry and
that was when I was gangly though. I didn't have the shoulders or arms that it took to throw a good pitch.
Yeah, but you see some of these pitchers, a lot of them are gangly. Remember Randy Johnson? He was like 6'11" and gangly.
But when he let go of the ball, he was 8 feet from the batter. That's why it was so fast.
You had a pitch called the Jersey Special.
That's the Jersey Special.
And basically, what you did was you'd just be on the mound swearing at the guy. And then you would just throw a pitch real quick when you made him mad, and he would get a quick strike.
I don't know how to respond to this.
Hey, meatbag. Yeah, you can't hit this. You can't hit this.
Meat.
And then and towards the end of the career, before you were, let go, because people are hitting home runs off you every game, you're like, I meant to do it.
Because I was betting on the other team.
You're like, I throw meatballs.
That's right.
When you throw meatballs, you better hit them.
It was all just a big betting scam.
So you threw really easy pitches on purpose because when someone messed up, you could make fun of them. So basically, this is what it's like. If you throw your best pitch and someone hits a home run, you look like a jerk. But if you purposely throw a bad pitch and someone hits a home run, you're like, yeah, so what? I threw a bad pitch. But when you throw a bad pitch and they line out, you can make fun of them.
This reminds me a little bit of that movie, also The Rookie. With Dennis Quaid.
He played for the Rays, yeah.
Yeah, I just saw that movie again, I don't know, in the last several months. That is a really sweet movie, by the way.
Oh, people loved it. Really highly rated.
It was
made a lot of money.
very touching.
So you know what I loved about when you played baseball is you were like big during this. You would do the 7th inning stretch. Like you would lead the entire stadium in a dance. You were famous more for your dancing than your pitching.
The only dance I can do is the electric slide because it has instructions in the lyrics.
But that's what Jersey people love, having instructions with their dance.
We do. We love having instructions.
I remember I was in a dance club in Jersey once, and they're like, step to the left, step to the left. Don't do it if there's a wall there, though. Step back to your right. Step back. Wait, don't do it if there's a wall there either. Wait, where are you dancing?
Cha-cha.
Yeah, and by cha-cha, I mean hands up in the air, and then steps
fist
like
pumping.
this.
Fist pumping.
Hey, you're
Jersey
doing
Shore.
it wrong. Yeah, hey, you're doing it wrong. So that was your, I'm not trying to make fun of Jersey, man. I just thought the Jersey Special was funny.
All right.
But don't you think that's a good idea? If you throw your best pitch and they hit a home run, you look bad. But if you throw your worst pitches and people hit home runs, you're supposed to do that.
Again, if I'm trying to rig the game with some of my mafia buddies, which I don't really have in New Jersey, if I'm trying to rig the game, I'm going to do that. I'm the rig the World Series.
Yep. And you know what?
Because I'll make more money than my contract.
Yeah, because towards the end of it, you were paying them, which is kind of weird. And then also, I remember I hated playing basketball with you back in the day because you would just throw nothing but half-court shots. And then you would miss most of them. You're like, well, I should miss. It's a half-court shot. But when you made one, you would run around for like a half hour. That's
right. You just do laps until you collapse.
And
victory laps.
You wouldn't defend. You only defended like 10 feet in front and behind the half-court line.
I just let you run it in if you get past me after that. I'm not wasting my energy.
I remember one time you fouled out in the first 2 minutes of a game.
Wait, what's that new basketball game with Shaquille O'Neal, the new basketball movie where they're all old men?
Yeah.
I normally don't like gimmick on steroids movies, but that looks hilarious.
Like what are some other gimmick? Oh, like do you not like Dirty Grandpa?
Yeah, things like that. And that happens also to be like the old guy thing. But yeah, like Dirty Grandpa, Bad Santa, like those. I can watch them once with a few beers, but after that, like I can never see them again. these gimmicks on steroids. But this one, though, with Shaq is the old guy and he's like teaching martial arts and he's like a retired basketball player, like it looks hilarious.
Did you like Guy Pearce and old guy makeup?
You mean in Prometheus?
Yeah.
That was kind of like upsetting hearing his old, I'm doing my old man voice. Like he was doing his old man voice.
He looked like Pizza the Hut.
I wasn't feeling it. Oh yeah. He looked like his skin was melting off because it was under a sun lamp too long and it was made of plastic.
Jeez Louise. Well, speaking of sun lamps melting flesh, I think it's time for some mailbags and listener questions.
Right, we actually got two from our listeners about last episode. In our last episode, we talked about a cure for wellness. And the first mailbag comes from Gina from Fort Lauderdale, and she writes, so I've listened to the pod and have another tinfoil hat theory regarding the Obsession Lab, registered trademark. I'd like to add that every time that she writes the phrase Obsession Lab, she wrote the registered trademark symbol. What if the caves and the Obsession Lab, registered trademark, being connected to the fancy ballroom where everything is white and pristine is actually a metaphor for the whole hydrotherapy process? This movie literally never stops being absolutely insane, but I'm here for it, and so is my tinfoil hat. So I have a little difficulty making the connection that the ventilation of the Obsession Lab trademark to the ballroom is a part of the metaphor for hydrotherapy.
I mean, it's antiquated. So, right? Hydrotherapy is sort of antiquated right now.
Or did he actually put that ventilation in because the place burnt down in the movie we discussed, and then they had to rebuild it. Maybe when they rebuilt it over his Obsession Lab, he actually routed the ventilation there so that the water vapor would go through the ballroom?
Maybe. That's smart.
I'm also wondering, by the way, that ballroom, that big room, I think that's actually the same room where all the lunch scenes were, where the dining hall was, because that was a super high ceiling room, and it was super big and grand when he and the staff were eating among the. Okay,
yeah.
So maybe indeed, like that was a connection then.
Just the vapor into kind of everybody's food and mouths when they're up there.
Yeah, like when he dumps those dead bodies into the water, and the eels eat them, and the eels fart, and that comes out of his underwater bog and rises as water vapor.
Are you saying that eel farts sneak up into the vents into people eating?
I think that would explain a lot about the brainwashing and mind control. It might just be eel farts.
That's very interesting. Just comes right up. I want to see the people who are sitting next to the vents in this movie. I'm going to rewind it, and I'm going to watch those vents.
And see if they're like a little more like squirrely.
Yeah, if they're just kind of like, if they're kind of looking suspicious. Like, when you're trying not to look suspicious and you look more suspicious? You know what I mean?
It's like if you tell Steve Buscemi to just act natural.
Yeah. I remember back in college, you were plowed one time and you were trying to tell me that you weren't plowed, but you were standing in a tree.
Me?
Yeah, this didn't happen.
Okay. I would have believed you because that one weekend in Tallahassee, man.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good one. That was a crazy game, a poker. Well, all right. So she's saying everything's white and pristine, but you're getting like hydrotherapy. So hydrotherapy is just therapy via water. So you're cleaning. Is that like you're cleaning yourself? You're sweating everything out?
So water is clear, right? And it refracts light. And white light is all the colors of the spectrum. I'm just word vomiting now. I really don't know where I'm going.
What color are eel farts?
Aquamarine.
Interesting. So that Obsession Lab must have spelled terribly.
Presumably he had formaldehyde in there with mutated fetuses. He had formaldehyde in there with dead eels that he was dissecting. He had all those weird chemicals. He had whatever preservative it took to keep his removed faces in liquid.
Did you see the face hugger in there?
No, I missed the face hugger in there. And so he was the origin of the face hugger?
And he had predator heads.
And all the skull collection of all the alien menagerie in the background from the Predator ship.
And who knows, a predator could have been in there, but it was invisible.
He'd know. He'd know.
You think he'd know?
He'd know.
Do you think if you lured a predator in there and you made all the eels fart at once, you could kill the predator?
I mean, he has that mask. I think the mask would protect him.
Yeah. Predators are wimps, man. I can turn.
But I mean, that mask.
They're invisible.
That mask will probably help him to breathe any atmosphere.
They cheat.
Because of the mask?
I don't respect predators.
Because of invisibility?
And laser-seeking heat cannons with tracers on their shoulder.
So if they're hunters, the invisibility is really where I draw the line. Like, I don't understand how the invisibility makes it sporty.
Like, I know people wear camo when they go, but they're not invisible.
Yeah, it's too much. I can see someone, I guess, out there arguing the camo versus invisibility, but still, like, it's a little too much. I just don't, because if you step on some leaves and make a crackling noise and the deers look over, they see you, and it's up to them to discern whether or not they can see that it's a person in camo, right? If you're moving or not. Whereas if you're invisible, you're just invisible. They just look over like, I'm looking right at you, invisible predator, but I don't know what made that noise because I don't see anything.
It could be line dancing in leaves.
And they're just going to see leaves kicking around.
Yeah.
Like they think it's a little dust devil.
Yeah. Wind is rustling, but it's a predator line dancing. And then all of a sudden a red light's on you, it blows you up. It doesn't even aim. The predator doesn't aim. It has a cannon on its shoulder that aims for it.
Well, I don't know how much of its thought is in there because it's like linked to the helmet.
It's like heat sinking.
I mean, it's I don't know. Or maybe it just is automatically goes where he's looking.
Jeez, what a cheater.
What a cheater. All right. I got another mailbag. This one comes from Kat from Gainesville, Florida. And Kat writes, and she just watched this movie. This movie was gorgeous. I could watch it on mute and it would still be enjoyable. Papa Malfoy should be in more horror movies. The final act got a little too Phantom of the Opera for me, but not so much as to ruin the film. Overall, it built creepy atmosphere without dragging too much. Even though the eels were a bit gross, I kept giggling because, and Mark, I didn't know what she was talking about here. She said it reminded me of a Mighty Boosh episode. And she sent me a link of this thing called Mighty Boosh on YouTube.
Oh, it's great. Simon Farnaby, some other guys, like very funny sketch show, British sketch show from the 2000s.
This was a peyote fever dream.
Oh yeah, which one was it?
It was the one where the dude has a weird eye. He's doing Phantom of the Opera piano work, and then someone actually like not vomits. An eel comes out of their mouth while they're like groaning in it.
Wow, I haven't seen that sketch, but the other one's
it's really weird.
It's I'm old gray.
I don't even know how to react to that thing. I couldn't watch the whole thing, by the way. My mind was too straight. I was at work in my federal office and I'm watching this thing and I felt like I was watching Pee-wee's Playhouse on acid. Like I just had to remove myself from it.
When I first watched it, I was like, I don't like this. And then I thought about it later and I started quoting it. I'm like, what happened to me? And then it got good. But I haven't seen that. I need to watch that sketch. I haven't watched that one.
So Mighty Boosh, that's the thing that you've heard about?
Yeah, it's great. It's funny. It's a cult classic comedy.
Never heard of this.
It's like, but the humor's it's not mainstream. And it can't be cult. It's like a cult classic, but the humor is so specific, it's hard to be like a cult classic that people, like, these guys aren't Ash Williams running around being a blowhard. Like, this is very interesting humor.
And so they had like an old web series or a TV show?
TV show, yeah. I first heard about it in 2009.
It's almost disturbing.
Almost. It's almost.
Okay, it's very disturbing. I guess I was being polite. Right. Like, I couldn't watch it, so I couldn't watch the whole thing.
You just hated
But
it. You're sitting in your chair with a monocle. Oh no, you were at work. You weren't at home being John the Horror Czar.
yeah, I didn't have my monocle.
This movie, The Cure for Wellness, would be hard to watch in your chair, not moving for 2.5 hours.
No, you got to get up and pee a few times because it's 2.5 hours.
And you're just doing old Rasputin.
That's right.
All right, so we're done with the mailbags?
Yeah, that's our mailbag. So you got some listener questions for us?
Yeah, so we actually have a listener question, and this is from our old friend David Thompson, who I worked with for years at Comic-Con, Wizard World Comic-Con, and so did you. I worked with this fellow for a very, very long time. And one time we were like, hey, we need listener questions, and he sent in 42 on Facebook. And we were thinking about doing a whole pod with it. We just haven't had the kind of time to do that. So all the questions today, 5 of them are from Dave. So we'll slowly work our way through all his questions. And they're great. I mean, I think he was waiting for a flight in the airport, and I think he was bored, and he just used up his battery.
I think he was like word vomiting. He was like when Johnny Five is short-circuiting in the movie Short Circuit.
I just think he had some Grand Marnier in him.
A few of them.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so the first one is, what if Liam Neeson was taken? Who would have the skills to save him?
Now, hold on now. In Taken 2, Liam Neeson was taken, and he was advising his daughter, like coaching her through the process to save him and his wife, while he was using just some of his special set of skills for his like special hidden phone that he had and like rewiring it or something or making a little microphone.
And he had his daughter throw grenades everywhere.
Yeah, so he could like count how long it took to hear it or something.
The question is, what if Liam Neeson was taken?
But he was.
Not
you mean not him and his wife?
Not his taken character.
Oh, you mean Liam Neeson, the actor?
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm thinking of this as Brian whatever from the Taken movies.
No, what if Liam Neeson was taken?
Well, I mean,
then Brian.
He's a tall 60-something-year-old dude. I think he's just gonna hope that his agent pays the ransom so that he can do Taken 4.
What if Tom Cruise is his agent from Tropic Thunder, and the whole TiVo bit with Matthew McConaughey blocking a rocket launcher misses, and I think Qui-Gon Jinn could do it.
How did Qui-Gon get into this? I thought it was just Liam Neeson.
This question did not have any caveats.
Okay. Well, Qui-Gon is definitely going to get out of it.
No, Qui-Gon's going to save Liam Neeson.
Oh, he's going to save him. Okay. I don't know. I mean, I just want to go on record that I'm not satisfied if Maggie Grace saves him.
Why?
Because I'm not convinced of her doing anything.
I want Maggie. Well, you know what? I'm switching my answer to Maggie Grace.
Maggie Grace? Well, I mean, she kind of did save him in the movie.
I worked on the, what is the word? The pilot of The Following, and she was on it. She seemed cool.
She was in The Following?
Yeah, she was in the first episode. I'm not going to hate on her. If you watch The Following on Netflix, and you go to the first episode, and you go to the end, I'm the cop who's wrestling with, homeboy, geez Louise, I forget his name.
Oh, Purefoy, James Purefoy.
James Purefoy. So she seemed cool on that. I'm not Maggie Grace hating.
I just don't see her saving Liam Neeson from terrorists.
You know what? I'm going to go with Guy Pearce's character from Lockout because he saved Maggie Grace so he could save Liam Neeson.
I'm going with Guy Pearce from Prometheus. I think he's going to bore them to death while eating Werther's Originals and telling a long story, and the bad guys will fall asleep. He just pulls a super old man on them, and they're just polite, so they sit and listen.
And he just keeps nodding off, and they wait.
That's right. Poor guy.
Skin looks like Pizza the Hut.
Poor fella.
So we're
He's
saying,
melting.
So Guy Pearce from Prometheus.
With some Werther's Originals.
All right, I like it. You know, one time I did find Werther's Originals in my cardigan pocket.
And Maggie Grace gave them to him.
She gave me Werther's Originals?
Well, I meant Guy Pearce, but she can give them to you.
Wait, so Maggie Grace gave Wayland Werther's Originals?
And he used them in his storytelling to save Liam Neeson.
That's amazing. Guy
It's
Pearce.
next level.
Guy Pearce is in the middle. He saved Maggie Grace. Maggie Grace gave Werther's Originals that saved Liam Neeson. This is Lockout, Taken, The Following, Dirty Grandpa.
We're just paying Maggie Grace forward.
That's like the way we came to that is pretty great. That's organic. That's movies, films, and flicks.
That is like a Jacob's Ladder fever dream of movie connections.
You need to rate, review, and subscribe to us on iTunes for that.
Dude. And Kevin Bacon is in The Following.
You're right.
So we did Werther's Originals degrees to Kevin Bacon.
Holy crap. Kevin Bacon, Maggie Grace, Guy Pearce, Liam Neeson's. From Key and Peele. This is amazing. Oh my gosh. I got a big smile. Alright, next. Do you think it was pretty rude for Forrest Gump to eat the chocolates he bought for Jenny? Yes.
Wait. Yeah, like I'm really conflicted about this. I want to agree with you though. Like, could you elaborate on your yes?
You buy chocolates for somebody, you give them the chocolates. All right. This is a story that looks very badly on me. I had a good friend last year. He came to Atlanta when I was managing an event, and I was like, "Hey man, I'll get you some Tropicalia." So I got him a 6-pack of Creature Comforts Tropicalia, but I kind of wanted one, so I drank one, and I brought him a 6-pack with one missing. And I kind of felt like a dirtbag. Even though
that was the fee.
I mean, I was giving him beers, but I also just felt weird that there was one empty. So
wait, you gave him the empty can? Or it's just that it was one can less? It would be funnier if it was an empty can.
Yeah, I should have done that. But like, he's eating this chocolate, and it's out in the heat. It's out of its package. He has people thumbing it, and I hate this statement. Life is like a box of chocolates. You always know what you're going to get. I say life is like a box of chocolates. You're always going to get a chocolate. In fact, we're all a bunch of people shoved into a box, Earth, right? And we're either eaten or we're just left on the shelf and we're put in a bargain bin until we're thrown away.
You were very bothered by this.
I hate it. Forrest Gump's eating chocolates. You always know you're going to get a chocolate. You know what she does? You know what she knows? She's not going to get all the chocolates.
Well, she didn't expect any chocolates, I don't think.
Life is like a box of chocolates from Forrest Gump. There's going to be a lot missing in it.
That's probably true. So I was just realizing that, but I mean, so Forrest Gump, right? I mean, he had some simple, like, mindsets about how things work, though. Like, he might not have really thought about the impropriety of opening the box of chocolates that he bought someone else because he was hungry while he was waiting at the bus stop for a bus that would take him to the exact same bus stop because he was already sitting a block away from Jenny's house.
Listen.
Like, he's a simple fellow.
The creature knew it was eating someone's cat in Shape of Water. Forrest Gump got raised up with manners, so he knew he was eating someone's chocolates. I wouldn't give Jenny those chocolates. I bought them for the trip.
Would you? But if you'd like a couple chocolates left over from my container, it is no longer rude. It is polite of me to offer you some chocolates.
Yeah, I just had some left over.
Yeah. Would you like a chocolate? Have a chocolate.
Hey, I had some of these left over. You want some? I'd arranged them on a plate, and I would have brought them out on a nice plate.
And then you don't see all the empty wrappers and shit.
Yeah. Forrest Gump ate those chocolates, and he shouldn't have.
He ate them in vain.
He did. Forrest Gump.
Punk.
Box of chocolates.
What a punk.
Yeah, that's right. I just came up with 2 new Forrest Gump statements. Alright, so before I go further down a wormhole of talking about Guy Pearce, you playing baseball, line dancing.
Predators line dancing. I
think we should get into the movie.
We're discussing a movie this week.
Yeah.
Okay.
This isn't a banter episode. We're not the Flight of the Conchords, just bantering.
I think we could, but yeah, we did watch a movie that I did very much enjoy watching twice in the last week.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It was directed by Mick G, who also directed Charlie's Angels movies, Terminator Salvation, This Means War, and written by a guy named Brian Duffield, who also wrote Insurgent, Jane's Got a Gun, a movie called Spontaneous, and an underwater movie that's starring Kristen Stewart, T.J. Miller, filmed all in a tank with the cinematographer of A Cure for Wellness. So,
wait, what?
Yeah. So, long story. Look it up, Underwater. So, Brian Duffield, this script was actually on the blacklist in 2014, which means the blacklist are scripts that were the best scripts that aren't produced by Hollywood. Eventually, McG got on it, and Brian Duffield sold this to him because this movie, the main character is a child, and so a lot of studios weren't ready to pick up this R-rated, really weird, bloody script and market it to 3,000 screens, so Netflix bought it up. Let McG would do whatever he wanted, and actually the film stayed pretty close to the script, and it is called The Babysitter, an R-rated horror comedy that is very loaded with blood, pop culture references, and it's on Netflix.
So, how would you tagline this movie? If you were going to give the one or two sentences about this movie, what would you give it?
All right, a 12-year-old kid's babysitter and her somewhat culty friends try to kill him because of a satanic ritual so they can get what they want. But they're not really Satanists. They're just kind of vain.
The movie isn't really clear about the origins or means of their ritual.
Yeah, no, it's not. They're just a bunch of vain people who want what they want.
Right. It's pretty blatantly shallow.
It's not a cult. It's not. I think she just said, "Hey guys, you want whatever you want. We just gotta stab some kid in the head, and then we gotta drain his blood, and then we gotta take some little kid's blood, and then chant some stuff. Boom, you got a Maserati."
It's like if you were like, "Yo, John, you want to come over for some craft beer that I collected?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, Mark. By the way, I've got this Necronomicon. Do you want to sacrifice an innocent and a virgin so that we can get whatever we want?" You'd be like, "You mean like all the craft beer we want?" I'd be like, "Yeah, whatever. We can get whatever we want. We can ask for that."
Do we know this person?
Only for the last couple weeks because I was a drifter and I just changed towns. Let me rephrase. I know this person because I'm a drifter and I just swapped towns. You don't know this person.
No, I wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't do it?
No. So this movie, McG got his start with Tarantino, and so this is like Brian Duffield's script, which is very, pop culture laden. But this is McG trying to do a Tarantino. He said that in an interview. So you have the very bright, very, you watch this movie and you just look at the colors. It's very,
It's crisp, dazzling, bright, scintillating, insert adjective here.
Well, there's lots of yellow, blue, and green. So when you look at certain scenes, it's pretty interesting how the beginning's very yellow and then it moves to blues and greens. So it's kind of, they must have planned that out somehow to mess with your mood, but there's three very solid colors in here. It almost looks like a PG movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know that doesn't make sense, but it looks like, you know what I mean? It doesn't look, there's no grime in this movie whatsoever.
It's a bright, happy-go-lucky, especially in the first 15 minutes or 20 minutes as you're being introduced to all the characters and all the bright colors, as you're saying. It's always sunny. Samara Weaving's hair is blonder than any human's blonde should be on screen.
I mean, they bomb light from her from all angles. Like, it's like the sun is coming up from the earth.
The sun is emitting from her hair through a lens of her hair.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's gorgeous. It doesn't look... It's, you know how like sometimes HD or 4K looks more real than real life because of like the color correction and the crispness? This looked more real to the point that it was fake even when I think of like 4K. But in a good way, it just was unnaturally crisp.
Oh, that's McG's aesthetic. I think he just has we started off doing music videos, but his style, if you look at Charlie's Angels, it's very crisp, very bright, very shiny, very lit.
Not quite unreal, but I'm going to agree heavily with you there. I was thinking about that.
And I guess we'll get into the plot eventually, but there's two things I want to... first thing I want to say about this movie is, I guess, there have been like negative reviews. Some people hate this movie, John. 71% on Rotten Tomatoes, but some people think it's the most shallow, lame, stupid movie. But for me, I had a lot of fun with it, and I think part of the reason why I was able to enjoy it is, I'm telling you, from when we first meet Cole, played by Judah Lewis, the main kid is 12 years old, his name is Cole. From the first 3 sentences, you almost know exactly the tone of this movie. It's heightened. I mean, it's kind of weird though that in the first 5 minutes, some guy, like the kid so he's getting a shot, right? And the guy trying to give him the shot's like, why you give me shit today? And then he goes, take the shot like you take ass. And then some kid hits him in the head with a basketball, calls him a PG-13. She's like, calls him a pussy. And then there's a jerk guy. Someone calls him a bitch. And then someone talks about being balls deep in the first 4 minutes of this movie. And you're like, what is happening? Like, it's not, this movie doesn't happen on this earth. I mean, it's like kids can get engulfed in fireballs and they don't burn. A high school guy can lift a 12-year-old up above his head with one arm. Blood gets cleaned up quickly. There's nobody in the suburbs. It's like an interesting, like, it's part of the budget, but it's like.
And even some of the behavior is a little cartoonish because before the bad guy does strangle Cole with one hand and lift him up, he had released Cole from his, or right then, I'm sorry, he does that and then he releases Cole from his death grip when he's set on killing him, just so Cole can go defend his house from being egged by a bully. So like they're weird, totally unrationalizable things.
And I'm not saying that's bad. It's just interesting how this movie captures a tone. It's very vulgar in the beginning, but you immediately know what it is. This movie's not hiding anything.
You know, I'll agree that it was vulgar, but even between all that vulgarness, all that vulgarity, like we were seeing Cole's kind of sweetness or his meekness or his idiosyncraticness. Like we were getting to know him and his funky bully and the flavor of this movie and the nature of Bea when she came to defend him from the bully and his parents and the way they are. Like it took so little time for me to love every character that befell the screen.
No, I'm just saying this is a movie that knew what it was between the script, between the script that Brian wrote. I mean, it was on the blacklist because no one wanted to make it, but everyone agreed it was a good script. And then McGee's style, the two just worked really well together. And so, when's the last movie that you just knew the vibe almost immediately?
Oh gosh, you know, I don't know if I knew it half as quickly, but I'm thinking of things like Happy Death Day or things like
Deadpool,
things like you mentioned watching this recently, Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. Movies like that came close. Well, Deadpool might have been right on point. Happy Death Day, though, it took its time. It didn't, you know, I can't believe I'm going to say this. Happy Death Day was subtle compared to this in terms of its tone.
Yeah. And I mean, it's pretty interesting, though, right? That's why this movie caught me immediately, and that's why I liked it to begin with.
Oh, and I adore this flavor. When we were watching the first 10 or 15 minutes, I readily forgot that I was watching a horror movie. I would have watched them in an R-rated comedy, a PG-13 comedy, or a sitcom. I loved these characters.
And you know what's pretty interesting that I've noticed between Stranger Things, Scout's Guide, and this? People who love the movies of the 80s starring kids are now making movies that star kids. Like, it's pretty, very rarely recently have you seen R-rated movies. Well, because we've had It, which is a remake, then we had Scout's Guide and this, but very rarely are there R-rated movies that just solely focus on a kid.
The kid is the star.
Yeah. I mean, you think about Poltergeist, or no, that was PG, but you think about other movies like The Omen and stuff like that, there's kids, but they're not the main character. So it's pretty,
right.
Like, who is this movie for?
Yeah, you know, I guess I just got to come back to what I think that you were clearly staging, and I guess it's us. And it's the people who grew up with him, with McGee.
And I thought it was pretty interesting, the guy who wrote this. I mean, in this movie, there's Godfather references. There's older movies that are referenced. So you could tell maybe a 40-year-old dude wrote it.
Yeah, this seemed like a junior version of Ready Player One for horror and sci-fi of the 70s and 80s. We reference Friday the 13th, E.T., Alien and Aliens, Predator. You mentioned The Godfather. They're watching some like late 70s Western movie in the movie. They reference Independence Day, which is from the 90s. all multiple iterations of Star Trek.
Yep.
Right? Like they're all over the place with stuff that, and I say it all the time during our podcast. Like, I wonder how many of our listeners don't know what I'm talking about. Please watch this movie. It's great. Because I wonder if listeners sometimes, if they're in their 20s or even early 30s, have seen some of the things that we're referencing. And this movie is referencing a whole bunch of things that fall into that category, even though it's referencing classics.
Yeah.
At some point, Max, who's the guy who strangleholds Cole, right, and runs around without a shirt, which we can get into later, because that's deliciously funny. He does not reference in words Friday the 13th. Instead, he just says,
yeah.
And, it's like, that's wonderful to me. I wonder how many people watching this movie don't know what that is, or they just think that it's a horror trope and don't realize its origins.
That could be one that no one knows where it's from, but they know it.
Right. Because it's become so it has become the Wilhelm scream of horror stalking.
That's right. I guess we're kind of talking around this movie. We haven't really walked through it, but I want to say one thing before we get into this movie. I haven't seen a movie like this where, let me find my notes, where I wrote a ton of stuff down, where almost every single thing from the beginning of this movie comes back later on. So you have, in the beginning of the movie, we learn that he doesn't like shots. And then we meet a jerky dad who has a muscle car. And then he goes home and you see that they're taking their treehouse apart and there's a ramp in the front yard. There's a knife that's in the dishwasher. There's his mom putting mouse traps in the crawl space under the home. There's him talking about velocity and doing barrel rolls with automated cars. There's the car on the second floor that he leaves and doesn't move. There's the scene where he learns how to, his dad takes him for driving lessons and he finds out how to start car and use a seatbelt. They bring up Mad Men. The punch him in, like when B's like, this is how you fight bullies, you just punch him in the dick. That comes into play later. So this movie, like almost every single thing from the beginning that they talk about in the first 10 minutes comes back into play later. And I can't think of a movie that's done that. I mean, they talk about Chekhov's gun. If you see a gun in a movie, it's got to go off. So, I mean, sometimes you have one or two of these things, but very rarely have I seen about 15 things that comes into play later in a movie.
This was Chekhov's gun and pocket watch and his AAA card and his driver's license and his wallet. And don't forget cash and some coins and some coins for the toll when he's on his way to kill someone. This was Chekhov's everything on Chekhov's person.
And I just think that's interesting, right? I mean, when's the last time I can't think of a movie where almost everything from the beginning is
right.
Seriously, almost everything. The bully is brought back later. I mean, everything comes back into play later.
The only movies that I can think of that do this are movies that are self-repetitive. Movies like Happy Death Day, Groundhog Day, Edge of Tomorrow, aka Live, Die, Repeat. But it's because they repeat over and over and over again that the characters learn the atmosphere that they're reliving. But if you take that away, it's like you said, unless there's 2, 3, even 4 things, like we're already talking about exceptions rather than rules. And this movie, like you brought up, this movie is like, I don't know, 12 or 15. Everything that gets special attention, right? Pretty much.
It just comes back. But it's
including rearranging the furniture.
Yeah, you're right.
Everything comes back.
Like, isn't that that's crazy? Like, not crazy. I just haven't seen that before to this extent. And I don't know. I guess it's a good move because it works out. But I've just never seen anything like this before after watching so many movies.
And I wonder, in the sliding scale, how much of that was the meticulous thought of the writer versus McG wanting to stage things and bring things back, or some happy marriage between the two of them.
And you know what's interesting? The writer, I read an interview with him, and he said he doesn't outline scripts.
He does not outline scripts.
Yeah. So, I mean, this seems like something that would be outlined.
It does. Well, again, so either he is the Kurt Russell brilliant mind of script writing, or he started to put a lot together, and maybe McG saw the numbers of the Matrix falling down when he was reading the script, and he just saw the blonde, brunette, redhead, and he started putting together how to craft this into this brilliant, just cascade of staging.
I mean, it's an 80-minute movie.
God, yeah, it was. It's funny. I wouldn't have guessed it if you didn't show me the running time. If I didn't know what time it was, I wouldn't assume it was that short.
Yeah, I think 80 to 90, but like credits, I guess. So like what, probably 87 minutes, 85 minutes.
Yeah, this felt rich. I mean, it didn't feel long, but it didn't feel brief to me either. It was because it was constantly engaging. Probably it was always fun.
And you know what's interesting? I know we're not working in line with this movie, but let's just roll with it. I really Samara Weaving. We talked about her on our podcast for the movies Belko Experiment and Mayhem. She's in 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Just an interesting actress. And in this role, so she's B. She's a babysitter. She babysits Cole because he's pure. His parents go out of town. She brings these cultists over. She kills them, and she didn't have confidence. That's why she does it. But she's not like the traditional villain in a lot of senses. So in a lot of horror movies, you have, Glenn Close in Fatal Attraction, or The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, or Scream 2, you have the mom who wants revenge. Pamela Voorhees, she wants revenge. She's a different type of female villain in that she just wants more stuff, more power. And I don't think she would have killed Cole. She's killed before.
Oh, yeah. Not to belittle her villainy, but her only murderous intention was
what was his name? Samuel. Yeah.
Was Samuel. Yeah. The guy who she lured over. She just wanted to kill him. She actually referred to Cole as a fountain of wishes because she had no intent. She wanted to drug him, put him to bed with that shot that he, would be fun for him in her mind. She'd take the blood and she could do that infinite times. Now, she would be killing someone else every time they got wishes, but she seemed to have zero intent to ever hurt Cole.
Yeah, and she even blew up Bella Thorne's head, the cheerleader,
then commented I didn't think it would be that messy.
Yeah, but it's kind of she's a very different kind of villain. She's a villain, but it's weird. It's a different type of villain, and I kind of like that. And I know McG definitely goes out of his way to light her and glorify shots, but that I think that's more the vibe she wanted to put out, to be able to lure people into her traps and to have confidence and everything like that, right?
But she was wonderful to Cole, and you can be wonderful to someone without having to act out all that other cinephilic, geek-centric, and geek-aesthetic, might I add. She was very sympathetic to Cole and thought it was, or said, but still, she said that she thought it was cool that he was into all this stuff. But you see, she knew all this stuff. She also knew all this movie stuff. They actually did have that in common. So that can't purely be an act. There's actually some relating going on, even if the relating forwards her goal.
How old is she?
And befriending him. In the movie?
Yeah.
I thought she was in high school. I thought she was just 2 grades ahead of him.
But what if she had been doing this for a while and keeping her age?
You mean with wishes and stuff?
Yeah, because she wasn't at the school. She was across the street. He saw her.
Well, that was just the store, though. That could have been after school. She could have been getting a soda with Samuel.
Yeah.
But I see what you mean. But I'm pretty sure that she was just a teenager, but I guess we don't have specific data for that. And yeah, and she did say that she's going to have to skip towns again. So how many times has she done this? How many times was she successful? How many times did she fail? Has she been doing this for? I'd like to think she'd be better at it if she was doing it long enough to be in her 40s or 50s.
Now, the plan was not good, but they're very good at cleaning up blood.
Apparently, yeah. They're apparently pretty good because when she double stabs Samuel in the head, he goes off like a Hugh Hefner front drive fountain.
Yeah.
The blood is just spewing out. It hits that dude John in the face. He's like, oh, my side isn't working. He taps it a few times and just rifles in his face and douses him in this Sam Raimi-esque geyser spew. And then later, like we were talking about, she exploded Allison's head.
Oh, that
when
got
she
clean.
was going for Cole. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, there was a lot of dude, and Max harpoons entirely through the skull, a fire poker through the cop's head,
and then rips his head off.
In the foyer. And that's in the foyer. Yeah, and rips his head off. Like there's a lot of significant things that happen. And then he firebomb exploded Sonya.
And then John. Did you already talk about John?
How he got spewed in the face?
No, how John landed on a thing and got his neck jugular vein.
Oh,
impaled
from that crystal award that looked like one of these like realty trophies.
I mean, it takes me a while to get some blood out of his shirt. So,
right.
I mean, they had blood everywhere.
Yeah.
I feel like the Santa Clarita diet deals with blood well. Cleaning.
It's a lot of work.
Netflix. Yeah, they did it fast. So like maybe she's either. But you know, it's hard to get good with it when you have new people every time.
Yeah, and those people clearly hadn't done this before. Like, they were brand new.
I mean, they were all in, though, for seeing murder like that for the first time ever.
You know, you mentioned that this clearly doesn't take place in the real world. So, if those were the bad guys, right? Well, I mean, they are the bad guys. But those teens or what have you that are all in on using this, I don't know, Necronomicon to do this ritual and get whatever they wish for. Don't you think that one of them would have panicked more, or one of them would have bugged out and been like, screw this when the shit was hitting the fan, or one of them would have been like, okay, I really didn't realize how real this was going to get. Like, once it got real, they'd kind of be fearful of consequence or something. Like, once Max harpooned a cop in the head, don't you think like one of them at least would have just ran and left?
Yeah, as opposed to just making jokes about it.
Like, to reverse the scenario, right? Because in this, they are the ones getting picked off, right? Because there's a lot of bad guys and one good guy. So really, Cole is kind of like our Jason Voorhees or our Freddy. And Bee and her friends are kind of like the teen or 20-something victims.
Wait, what do you think about Hana May Lee? She's Sonya in this movie. She's the singer from Pitch Perfect.
From Pitch Perfect.
Who eventually gets to talk because the devil left her. But she seems like she's done it before. Because I think Bee has been his babysitter for a while. So maybe Sonya had a vibe of like, I've done this before.
I'll buy that. She was really comfortable with the killing, and she seemed to have a good beat on what she was doing. I'd buy that. Yeah.
Yeah, Allison with Bella Thorne. I don't think John. And
No. John panics at everything.
Maybe Max had like done it once before, but I'm not sure.
You know, I think that Max just killed a kid and hid the body.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mean to say that like it's funny, but it's like, I think that Max just like has done some heinous things, and like he even said at one point, killing people is why I'm here. That is not why any of his cohorts were there. They were there to make one sacrifice and to get something they wanted, whereas he just leapt at the opportunity to harpoon that cop. He leaps at the opportunity to try and kill Cole. He says he wants to kill people. So Max he says that's why he's here.
Max is like those jerky bullies from It. You know those jerky college football bullies? That you're like,
I guess so,
and you're like,
yeah.
These people are. But there is a funny moment with Max where, so Bee and Cole have a night of dancing to Foghat, eating pizza, watching movies. She tries to drug Cole, but Cole doesn't take the shot. He sees the death happening. He gets caught. He's downstairs tying, and he's tied up. And Cole lies. He's like, you guys are going to have an orgy, and you needed my blood to get you guys turned on. And then they're like, do you even know what an orgy is? And then Cole's like, it's what sad people do with other sad people to make them realize their lives aren't that sad. And then I like when Max just goes, it's not a bad answer.
That's right.
So, I mean, like, I don't know. It's weird. Like, this is a weird movie, John.
Even though he just looked up orgy like an hour earlier.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of fun. It's what sad people do. I don't know. I mean, that's where that's my favorite bits of these dialogues, where it's not like the pop culture type stuff. I think that's a good bit right there, where it's just like
in the beginning when he's with his neighbor, and they're leaving school, and the dad comes to pick up his neighbor, that cute girl, what's her name? Hannah? Not Hannah.
I'm looking right now.
It's
Melanie,
the young girl from Lights Out, Melanie. Who's kind of turns out to be his like real, I'll call it love interest in this, not B, who is just his crush. But when her dad pulls up, she says, "Yeah, this is the same car that Dad had got in high school. So he got it after the divorce to make Mom jealous, but it didn't work because it's just a car." Like that's the same level of like attunement, I guess. Like I really appreciated those lines too.
And then I liked his reply. She's like, "Hey, can we give Cole a ride home?" And the dad is like, "Well, are your parents expecting you to ride the bus?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, you shouldn't be riding with me then." Like that's like such a jerk thing to say.
Yeah, well, they're going to be expecting you at the bus stop, so you better take the bus. And even Cole's parents.
Yeah. The kid's 12 years old, and they're treating him like he's like 17. Like he's a little 12-year-old. So.
Well, you see, I thought he was 14 or 15.
Yeah, 12.
They say that?
Yeah, he's 12.
Why is he practicing driving?
Yeah, exactly. And of course he'd be worried about it.
Okay, yeah, I thought he was older.
Yeah, the kid's obviously not 12 in the movie, but in the movie he's 12.
Okay.
So the whole time I'm like, wait, you got to be brave and you got to do this and that. He's 12. You know, he couldn't have been like me, a feral kid in Florida, like running around, like the kid from Mad Max, the second one. But
feral kid.
Yeah.
Appropriately named. The kid who just throws rocks at people and goes, it was funny. Like, back when that movie came out, people were probably like, whoa, that kid's wild. And now if you watch that now, you're like, did they, like, get that kid drunk to do this role? Like, this is ridiculous. Were the writers drunk?
The heat got to him in Australia. So, hey, let's research that, and then let's come back for more Babysitter talk. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. Turns out the feral kid was just a feral kid that was living in the outback of Australia.
Like someone like fed him one day, and then like a stray cat, he just kept coming back.
Yeah, and then they were just like, "Hey, can we film this kid?" And the people were like, "He's not my kid. Just do what you want." So every day they left out some barbecue ribs that Roger Moore had eaten, and go to last episode. You'll learn more about the barbecue ribs. You'll love it. So yeah, then they just filmed him as a feral child.
And then he keeps throwing ribs at the other actors. It's like, well, Mad Max wouldn't have ribs to throw, so take the ribs away. It's like then the kid just started picking up rocks and throwing them.
Yeah, exactly. Like no one was going to take those ribs from the kid. That's the kid's ribs.
So that was all just like, that was pure method acting, or not even acting. The kid was just throwing rocks at people, hoping that they'd like be like, fine, have more ribs.
The kid was
and then they didn't give him more ribs, so he kept throwing the rocks. And that's how Mad Max won.
The rocks. He was just being.
Because of feral kid's rocks.
How would the feral kid deal with the moonrock spiders from Apollo 18?
Well, he'd be throwing them, and then they turn into spiders when they land on their victims.
Whoa, that's my worst nightmare.
Can you imagine if the kids and it were throwing Apollo 18 moon rocks?
Oh my gosh. So the moon rocks are on your side? And they're not just turning because you throw them?
They're just on your side, yeah. And they started to turn the moment you pick them up because it takes them like a second or two, and it just takes you 1 second to pick it up and throw it. They're turning in the air.
Oh my god!
And then they hit the bully, and they're rock spiders, and they stick into him like the Kronos. Like Kirimo del Toro's Kronos. This is another one of those moments where I wonder how many of our listeners know what the hell I'm talking about.
That's one of his first. No, Devil's Backbone was first, or was Kronos first?
No, Kronos is from like 93 or 94, if that.
Yeah, because Mimic is from what, 96 or 90? No, 94. Mimic's from 94.
It's back there, man. I think Kronos was first, though. I think Kronos was his first theater. I think his first theater. I think Devil's Backbone was after.
Gotcha. And what about the Angel's Femur? When did he make that?
The Angel's Femur?
Yeah.
I don't know that one. That must be like the Blacklist sequel that never got made.
All right. Back for more David Thompson questions.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say something about David Thompson real quick. He was flying to Philly today, and he was just complaining about the flight. And I just wanted to be like, shut up, David Thompson.
I want to say something about David Thompson.
What?
If you were to shape hair in the shape of a mushroom, and then put a cherry bomb in it, that's David's hair.
And this is so guys, I managed Comic-Cons for a lot of years, and I actually brought Dave in to come help out. And whenever people were talking about him, I'm like, hey, go find Dave. And they're like, who's Dave? I'm like, the guy that looks like a Rolling Stones roadie. And then they would automatically be like, oh yeah, I got you.
So I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah, that works though. I see that.
All right, cool. So his next question: why doesn't Kurt Russell do one more Snake Plissken movie? I want to see Escape from Planet Earth, where Snake has to steal a shuttle and blast off to a Mars colony right before he blows up the Earth. I mean, I'd love to see it, but
my real answer.
What's your real answer?
Yeah, I was just gonna say because Kurt just maybe is too old for this shit.
I mean. And he also made Escape from L.A., which didn't light the world on fire.
In like 96, I want to say? Yeah. 95, 96? And the first one was from 81, right? 80, 81, 82?
And as much as I love Escape from L.A., it was XXX before XXX. I mean, who's going to give them $40 million to send Kurt Russell with an eye patch into space nowadays?
I'm good for 10 grand. I will put 10 grand at that movie.
I will fund the Kickstarter. I will help with the Kickstarter. If there's a thing where like John Carpenter and Kurt Russell get to come over your house for dinner and drink Kurt Russell wine. No.
Kurt Russell wine.
Yeah, Kurt Russell has his own winery. Goji Wine.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that. Because we were talking about Event Horizon like 10 episodes ago, and I was thinking of
Sam Neill has his own winery.
Sam Neill's, yeah. And wow, that threw me off.
I don't know if he has a winery. He just grows grapes for his own consumption. But
he's making wine. One way or another, he's making wine.
Yeah, Kurt Russell sells his wine online.
Gosh.
Yeah.
I'll buy some of that.
I mean, listen, I want Machete in space. I want Kurt Russell in space. I like people going to space. Guy Pearce goes to space.
Event Horizon did Hellraiser in space better than Hellraiser in space.
I like people who own wineries going into space. Soldier, that's in like space, maybe.
So I mean, it's another planet.
Stargate.
At least.
Right? That goes to another planet.
That is like world crossing.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not going to happen. It's just for people who like us who love Kurt Russell and John Carpenter who want it to happen.
I mean, if we see the next Snake Plissken movie, it's going to be starring that French dude from the Point Break remake or something.
Yeah, it's going to be someone not even with an eye patch because they don't want to not look cool.
Eye patches look cool, though.
Yeah, the Thor eye patch. Do you watch The Magicians? That is type in Magician's eye patch. It's awesome. That's a good show. Netflix. Start watching The Magicians. It's great. The eye patch doesn't happen until season 2, but it's pretty great. But, I don't know. It's not gonna happen, John. As much as I want more Kurt Russell, it's not gonna happen.
I mean, at some point we just have to be willing to say that someone had a great body of work and they aren't vampires. Like, Kurt Russell is not Lestat.
You're right. And if he was Lestat, he'd just be on a sofa somewhere, chilling.
If he was, we would have seen Escape from Louisiana, and Escape from Missouri, and Escape from Washington, and Escape from Oregon. We would have seen all the escapes. He would have escaped everywhere.
Escape from a coffin buried under the ground.
You know what I want to see now?
What?
Escape from North Korea.
Ooh. Escape from Disney
World. And Seth
World.
Rogen is bumbling around, like, screwing up his escape. Him and James Franco.
You know what line I quote from the interview all the time is, I packed like a fool. So Seth Rogen...
I packed like a fool!
Yeah, Seth Rogen has to go to China to meet up with some people from North Korea. He's like, can you at least give me a water? I packed like a fool! So never we pack terribly. I always say I packed like a fool. Alright, next question.
Terrible.
Where is the all Kurt Russell special episode? Are you shitting me, Dave?
So I know what he's talking about. I get that. We are actually kind of long overdue for one, but episode 1 and episode 50 of our podcast were all Kurt Russell.
Kurtchella.
Kurtchella was episode 50, yes.
Yeah.
And in episode 1 of our podcast, our very first podcast, the inception of our mania into the audio fields that you all are listening to was Kurt Russell's best sleeveless shirt moments.
Yes, I don't think Dave is paying attention.
But there was a time when we were threatening to do an episode 100 or an episode 120 that would be another Kurt Russell episode, and we just, we got busy or other things kept coming up, or, the newest Avengers movie or the newest whatever would come out, or we'd have an idea. And I mean, we might owe Kurt Russell, because I'm sure he listens.
Let's do 150.
We might owe Kurt Russell. I mean, like, is that the thing in Big Trouble in Little China? Is it Soldier and Stargate? Is it all 4 of those? I don't even know.
Captain Ron.
Dude, I love that movie so much. That's like his best movie ever. It goes like that and The Thing are they're so different that I'm willing to call them equal.
So how about this? Let's put a bunch of names into a hat of movies where we'd be happy to spend with, and let's just pick one out of it. Because you're saying one, I'm saying another, you're saying another.
Should we have people vote?
Yeah, you know what? I'll put a voting thing on the pod post.
We can start that. We can do like even a Twitter. We're going to figure this out though.
Yeah. So we'll put it on the pod post, Movies from the Flicks. You can look up the pod post. We'll also put it on Twitter and we'll put it on Facebook.
I will make it my new pinned tweet.
All right. No, dude, you got a baller pinned tweet right now.
Yeah, but it's like 3 years old.
Yes.
People actually say to me who are new to Twitter, like, wow, you have like 500 retweets on your pinned tweet. I'm like, yeah, it's from 4 years ago.
It's still getting it every day.
Yeah, because it's been up there 4 years, though. All
right, so we're pushing. We're gonna put you vote, and you know what? If you don't feel like voting, text me or John.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Message us.
Hassle us. We will tally that. And so, how many movies do you think we should put up on that?
10.
10 movies? Are we going to take the top 2 or 3 or so? We can figure this out later.
You pick 6. I pick 6.
But how many will we discuss?
Because we'll overlap. I think we should just focus on one.
One movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we're doing The Babysitter right now, and we're filling up an entire episode.
That's true. We've gotten so good at dissecting films that I kind of hesitate to do 2 or 3 film episodes anymore.
You don't rush to Russell.
No, you can't.
All right, so that's what we'll do. You can either text us, tweet us, Facebook us, vote in the poll on the website. We'll do a pinned tweet on John's Horror Corner, MFF Horror Corner. Then we'll just keep going with it. And the movie that has the most votes, we will pod about on episode 150. Which is
sounds good.
21 episodes from now.
Yeah, that'll happen this year.
Yeah.
150
is a good, or we should go crazy and just do episode 137.
You know what's going to bother me? If in like a month we talk to Dave about this and he didn't hear this episode.
He's not listening.
The jerk.
No, he's listening.
Dave, are you listening?
He's listening to the history of Iggy and the Stooges.
Dave, if you hear this because you downloaded this episode a few days from the time that I'm saying this, and now you're listening, you better text me and let me know that you're listening.
and we have one more thing. I think this is what he wants from our podcast. He goes, do you guys take requests? On the next episode, could you guys play the entire Dark Side of the Moon album?
Dude, my answer is yes, but only if it is while we are doing a Mystery Science Theater 3000 commentary on either The Wiz or Dorothy of Oz to give a contemporary spin to its connection to The Wizard of Oz.
I'm in. Episode 175.
That's going to be trippy, though.
Get over yourself, Dave. Just listen to it on Spotify like everybody else.
Just listen, period. I expect a text, Dave, in a couple days from now in reality, which is really right now to everyone who's listening to the pod right now because you downloaded it recently, but we're really recording it before that.
All right, and then I
got lost in time.
I got one more question for you. So in The Babysitter, they talk about the intergalactic dream team, which is 5 or 6 or 7 people they would take with them to space to complete a mission. Did you put together your dream team?
I did not put together a dream team.
I put together a dream team, and I'll let you know who I picked.
Uh-oh.
All right. Machete.
Okay. All right.
You can't kill Machete.
Apparently not.
All right. Then I got Rey from The Last Jedi. because she's a Jedi and she can fly a Millennium Falcon, having never flown the Millennium Falcon. She'd be
She's pernicious too. She won't die.
Yeah, I mean, she like survives places blowing up. She's a legit survivor. Then I got Ash Williams from Evil Dead. He doesn't die. You can't kill him.
He doesn't die.
Dude does not die. Then I got Letty from Fast 8, Michelle Rodriguez. She doesn't die.
We thought she died, and then it turned out that she didn't die.
And then the 8th movie, The Fate of the Furious, she's the only one that can keep up with Dom. She can like take Dom out. And like for Vin Diesel to allow someone to be his equal, they gotta be badass. So I got Letty up there, and she can drive too. Letty, she's a gangster. I love it. All right, my next one is Jamie Bell from Jumper. I forgot his character name. I mean, that's like a superpower that is the superpower of all superpowers. He can just jump everywhere. Hey, we need to get on that Death Star. Got it.
There.
All right, we need to go. Like, hey, we'll bring you as a prisoner to the Death Star. Okay, you're a prisoner now. Disappear. Now he can go back whenever he wants.
And he could now, I don't know the limit of what he can travel with, but he could travel with a person. Could he travel with a bomb?
He took a double-decker bus.
He did take a double-decker bus.
With people on it, presumably.
It's all him. He can do whatever.
All right, then my next was Nebula from Guardians. Because...
She doesn't die.
Yeah, she doesn't die. Like, she escapes. Like, you can't kill her.
I need to be clear. Like, anyone who's listening who's like, none of these people die. It's like, no, you understand. Like, in the movie Babysitter, when she says, I want Kirk, Picard, Jeff Goldblum, and Will Smith from Independence Day, and a xenomorph egg. When she says this, and Ripley, those are her 6. When she says this, I don't necessarily assume that none of them will die. When you're giving me this list, I cannot imagine any of the people you're giving me dying.
And then my last one is Snake Plissken from Escape from New York. He doesn't die.
He's unkillable. He's like a roach in nuclear fallout.
So, I mean, none of these people are going to die.
No, it's fun. I'd say that Snake Plissken is the most likely to die, but he won't die.
Like, Jamie Bell's the side character in Jumper, and they normally die, and he doesn't die. Like, he lives.
I gotta take that back. I think he's the most likely to die.
Such a great power, though.
I'm just saying, the most likely out of your people, that's what I'd say.
Yeah.
That, then Snake Plissken.
Like, Ash is never going to die.
Then Nebula.
Like, I think Ash could beat Palpatine.
Well, he wouldn't necessarily beat him. Palpatine would just fail to kill him. Because they could go on forever. It's just that while Palpatine is distracted trying to kill Ash and perpetually failing to kill Ash, Letty will kill Palpatine.
Yeah, just hit him with a car.
She'll drop kick him and put him in an arm lock.
She would find the one car on the Death Star and hit him with it.
Right. Well, but Jamie Bell will just port one in.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
For her. She will already be in the car somewhere else, driving at top speed, and then like in Back to the Future, he will port her over, and then he'll plow into Palpatine.
With Nebula riding on top of it with a giant, like, spear.
Going, brrrr, brrrr.
Oh my god. And Ray's just wiping people out left and right. I love this song that you came up with.
No, it's from Star Trek when he's fighting the Klingon, and then they do that in the Cable Guy.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oh, we forgot about Machete. He's just wiping people out left and right.
Oh yeah, he's just out there hacking people up.
He would have a lightsaber machete.
I mean, I feel like he's just wholesale murdering dozens of minions, though. I don't see him going for the bigs.
Yeah, you're right.
In this scenario.
I feel like Machete, Jamie, Nebula. I don't think Snake would get the big. Snake would be more like running on a mission. It would come down to Ash, Letty, and Ray.
Dude, so Snake and Ash as a tag team would kind of be like the pygmies in the old school, like, wrestling fighting the regular guy, where, like, the pygmies just give him, like, this horrible difficulty, and, like, they're teaming up, and one of the, like, these little dwarf guys ducks, and the other pushes him over. Now, they're not doing anything lethal, right? But their menace is totally tying up the big bad.
Yeah. I mean,
and both of them are so bumbling. They're such bumbling guys who fall up. Actually, Ash falls even, and Kurt Russell falls up.
Actually, Snake doesn't fall much, though, because remember, he hang glides, and he never lands. He surfs on an insane wave. So he's the capable one, and Ash is the doopy one.
It's such a weird thing.
Dude, I want to see Michelle Rodriguez and who's the other one that we said would be in the final battle? And Michelle Rodriguez and who else did I say would be in the final killing him?
Machete?
Oh,
Jamie Bell?
Yeah, no. Wait, I said Letty. I think it would be Letty and Ash. Ash is in his old Pontiac, and then Letty just does something and takes him out.
I want a Tribble. I want Gizmo. I want a face hugger. I want the flying gremlin from the old Bill Shatner Twilight Zone episode.
The electric gremlin?
Yeah, but it flew. It could fly. And it was tearing up a plane wing. I feel like I only need them, but I'm going to take E.T. because he has electrical fingers. Zzz.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to take E.T. and I'm going to take the energy-based life form from the Darkest Hour.
Oh, man.
And I'm going totally non-human. That's my dream. My dream team is those 6. That's what's happening.
So here's the deal. Look at pictures of the Darkest Hour online, and it's just a bunch of people looking at stuff that isn't there.
That is the only movie that was so bad that we both wrote a Bad Movie Tuesday article about it.
This is when I wasn't that good of a writer, but I still felt inspired because it's just pictures of people looking at things that aren't there.
It was and it had Emile Hirsch in it.
Yeah.
He's been in good stuff.
No, all the actors have been in decent stuff. Like, they're all still acting today. So the Trebles would just spawn. Gremlins would get wet. The electric gremlin would be blowing stuff up. You got flying things. You got E.T. sticking his finger into stuff.
The facehugger is taking out the bads, the minions.
Oh my gosh.
And reproducing.
Dude, the Death Star would be a horror show. It would be a nightmare.
Telling you, I would fill up all the space too, because with all the alien infestation, all the Tribble infestation, all the gremlin infestation, right? And then you just have the flying Twilight Zone gremlin and E.T. are electrocuting and tearing apart things. But meanwhile, the gremlins are attacking the bads while the gremlins are also taking up space and the Tribbles are taking up space, right? And the facehuggers are taking up space, or all the aliens. So that literally the 3-dimensional space, the cubic footage of the ship or wherever the battlefield is getting occupied by my team.
It would be like Pandorum. This
is like when you have a Sarlacc as your wide receiver in a football game.
Okay, so the podcast, you'll see it. We picked a MFF football squad when it was Lazovath, Levengood, and myself. And John Lazovath picked the Sarlacc Pit as a wide receiver, and you got to hear Levengood's reaction because Levengood.
This is like our 4th episode, by the way. This is over 100 episodes ago.
You couldn't process it.
No, because it's bigger than the football field. It still doesn't make sense to me.
But the reaction, it was like, what's that? Oh man, where the guy just can't process what happened to him. He just starts yelling.
You could sit down a football field inside of a Sarlacc. I still don't understand how a Sarlacc is a wide receiver on a football field, but John was very proud of himself, and you seemed tickled pink by it.
Well, I just thought your reaction was great.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
It would tear up all the sod.
There wouldn't be. I mean, it is multiple football fields. It's so big. It's so big. I want to see him animate this like in a cartoon.
I would have to pick a defender who can fly to be over the Sarlacc Pit, like Iron Man.
He's too small to affect it.
He could blow up the football before it gets thrown to it, right?
I guess he could do that. But I mean, he could blast the shit out of it and it wouldn't even notice. It's so huge.
It's like, hey man.
It makes the giant sandworms in Dune look like earthworms.
How does it eat? Does it
Like,
just get fed? Because not many stuff are just going to fall into it.
I get it. Well, I don't think that George Lucas really considered the xeric habitat biology of the Sarlacc pit. But
Well, it said it takes a long time to digest everything.
I mean, it's very sedentary and all, but that thing clearly needs to eat a lot. Like, it would need to eat Rhode Island every year.
Oh my gosh.
Wonder if you could fit Rhode Island in a Sarlacc pit.
We should.
Not really.
That'll be my next pod post.
How big is a Sarlacc pit?
All right, so back to the movie.
Back to the movie.
Oh, and they also mentioned the Warriors in this movie.
Right, yeah. Come out to play.
I was like, how many kids know that?
That's from 1977?
Yeah, these kids. When you were 18, you and I both watched a lot of movies.
Mm.
But I wasn't that like hip to pop. Well, we also didn't have any internet.
I just had my video store.
Yeah, I mean, so we were kind of hip to. We watched a lot of movies, but we weren't like, I don't know.
I mean, movie referencing as a conversation medium was different back then.
Yeah, there we go.
Now it's so easy to free flow and get a movie reference in every minute if you want one.
Can I ask you a question, John?
I'll allow it.
Do you think B is killed at the end of this movie?
Well, in the credits, before the credits, they show her apparently dead under the car. And then into the credits, they show her up in a classic last moment of a horror movie, alive and attacking, I don't know, a cop or a fireman or something.
Do they really?
Did you not watch into the credits, Mark?
No.
You gotta watch into the credits
What?
because they show her. Oh, they did everything to tell you that if they want a sequel, they get one and it stars B.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
So actually, I knew she wasn't dead.
Watch 3 minutes into the credits, and there's a scene of someone going through the rubble of a house, and they go and look where she would have been under the car, and she's not there, and then they look up, and she goes, ah! And like she's stabbing at him.
Why is she trying to kill him? She doesn't really kill people like that.
I don't know. This is because that's just the dramatic thing that you do at the end of an old horror movie.
Couldn't you have just seen her walking away somewhere, like hitching a ride?
They could have, but they went with the classic.
But that goes against B.
Well, I mean, she was just a person, and she didn't complete the ritual, so I don't know.
So you turned.
I don't know what to make of it. But
you turned B into a B.
You gotta watch into a few minutes into those credits.
I don't like it.
It's just a second. It's like 2 seconds. And it just shows her like taking a swing at the guy with what, I don't know, like in hindsight, it almost looked like a stake.
Interesting. How do you feel
Like
about
she's just stabbing people with a shard of wood from the fence, I guess, around the house.
So then B is evil.
Sure.
I guess she is evil because she stabs a guy in the head.
I mean, evil. I mean, she was really cool to Cole.
She devoid of a moral compass.
Sure, let's go with that. I mean, she was really sweet to Cole. She didn't have to make his life that nice. She had no intention of killing him, although that was also for her own gain. But she even did it in a nice way. I mean, but then again, she had some Book of the Dead, and she totally murdered some sweet other dork in their Spin the Bottle Truth or Dare by twice stabbing him in the head, skull deep with knives. So it's hard to, I have difficulty really weighing where she falls in the good evil. She's willing to do malevolent things, but she still seems to go about them in the nicest way possible. She gave him that nice little kiss. She didn't have to give him that nice little kiss. They could have just kidnapped him and tied him up and stabbed the shit out of him.
Yeah.
They did not have to make that nice. He got to have, as an awkward guy, this nice social interaction. They were playing this game, and then he got the kiss, and then he was double stabbed in the head with those big thick knives. But none of that had to happen that way.
What'd you feel about the death in this, the gore in this movie? Were you
These were fun Sam Raimi spews, and I never felt a moment of scariness.
That cheerleader getting shot in the boob, that thing got played out. That bit never worked for me.
Like, it was funny, but I agree. Like, that was... And yeah, and they stretched that way farther than they should have.
She got shot in the heart.
Basically.
And she flew 15 feet.
I mean, maybe it was just 22 caliber and it got lodged in a rib?
And then these people are saying that they won't motorboat her anymore.
Because as she put it, one of her boobs is deflated.
And she wants to be a journalist.
A pretty journalist.
So I was just like...
Well, I don't know if that was a lie, because remember that she was playing with him at some point in that interaction? Like, was journalist honest or not? Because when he says, oh, you could still do that, and you're still pretty, and she's like, oh, I am, thanks. And then she's like, I'm just,
She seemed pretty earnest about wanting to be a... I get what you're saying, but for some reason I read it as being...
Yeah. It started out as earnest, and then it turned into the slide that slid into the malevolence scale.
If this was like it's 50-50. I'm doing the glass half full. Someone made a joke about that the other day. Glass half full, glass half empty, and they said something else about it that made me laugh, but you don't need to hear that. And then the other kid, the shirtless kid, gets hung by being a dum-dum.
Totally by accident, too.
And he goes in the treehouse that's being taken down, like in the beginning, that they say in the beginning of the movie. And then what? What's her name?
Sonia gets exploded when he misses her with a firework, but there was like a gas leak under... No, not a gas leak. He sprays her with the bug sprayer aerosol, and then when the firework explodes, she has those volatiles all over her.
Yeah, and then John falls off the second story on a car that was left there that was mentioned in a movie and gets his neck impaled.
Right.
And all that blood got cleaned up. Like, you know what's weird? Bea disappears in this movie. She's like, oh, I was just getting rid of the cops. I'm like, how?
Maybe the last time she killed a teenager, she was strategic. And instead of getting beauty or youth or wealth or something, she wished for the ability to disappear gore.
Ooh.
That way, for all of her subsequent sacrifices, she could solve that problem. And then maybe in another sacrifice, she wished for the ability to dematerialize cars. Or not literally cars, but something. Like, maybe she picked up some tricks. Instead of every time being like, what's the limit? $100,000? Give me $100,000. Instead of doing that, maybe a couple of those times she wished for things that would make her better at the ritual, gaining the people for her ritual, covering things up after her ritual. And like you said, how old is she? Maybe she's done this successfully 100 times or hundreds of times. Maybe she's from the Salem witch trials. Maybe she's 200 years old.
I mean, she does listen to Foghat.
She listens to Foghat. She references E.T. Like she saw it 3 times last year.
I'm going to tell you something, John. I'm a 35-year-old man, and I was at a Foghat concert once. Only the original drummer. And they were singing one of their, like, Honey Hush or Home in My Hand. And I was singing along with it, and I shit you not, the lead singer looked at me confused. So the fact that people be knowing Foghat, I don't buy it. So she's got to be. She's done it before. I like your idea. Ooh, that's really smart, man. She knows how to just touch blood and make it disappear. Because the lampshades didn't have blood on it later.
Again, or maybe she wished for something abstract, or she got something abstract. Like, it could be all sorts of things. It could have been some gift of illusion, right? To just mask it. Maybe it's too powerful a magic to eliminate it, but she masked it, or something like glamours people, or whatever. But like, she might have, if you can get, as she said it in the movie, anything you wish for. Well, if you can get anything you wish for, but you need to do this ritual more than once, that thing clearly is like, I don't know, it's not everything. It's a thing. It's a concept. It's an archetype. So she needs to do this more than once. Well, if you got to do it over and over and over again to get the stuff that you want to be perpetually happy in your maybe infinite life, you need to get better at this so that it doesn't frustrate you. So again, like, she's Maybe she wished for super strength. Maybe she wished to be able to survive something with the equivalent of the blunt force trauma of being hit by a car that went over a ramp and through a wall of a house and landed on you.
And shoot a shotgun with maybe buckshot in it perfectly into a person's head from 15 feet out.
And make their head explode into jam.
Jelly head?
Like, but again, like, who knows what she's wishing for, right? Like, she could be wishing for all sorts of. Maybe she wishes that everyone that she kills disintegrates after an hour.
This is a great view on consumerism.
Just saying, yeah. Like, I mean, Brave New World would be proud. Aldous Huxley, are you listening? You're probably not listening.
The more you want, the emptier it becomes.
All right.
Dang.
Live, use, consume. What was the old mantra from? I can't remember.
Do you think Bees ever asked for like a burger? Like, do you think she just had a long kill one time? She's like, I'm sick of these people. I just want a sandwich.
A good burger.
Yeah. Like, yeah, remember that time I was, give me a Pliny the Elder. Nice beer. Or a bottle of whiskey?
Like so are we talking 21 Pappy?
Oh, 23 Pappy.
20, all right. 300 Pappy.
I mean, if you...
in another 250 years, she'll be able to get it. She'll be able to get Pappy 300.
I want a bottle of Pappy put somewhere right now where I can get it in 300 years. How much would be left in there? Because I know a lot evaporates.
I mean, she one of her wishes would be that none of it evaporates.
So she'd put the barrel there, and then
then 2 years later she'd have another kid that she built up, right? And 2 or 3 years later she will have another kid, and then she'll wish that none of it evaporates.
And then that no one ever builds on top of that.
Sure.
So there's like it becomes a massive metropolis. And then 200 years she just walks over to that spot.
It's just like that's where they have the tree growing. Like that little square of grass where there's a tree or a bush.
Yep.
That's just where the whole town is designed around that bush.
And then her next wish is that the tree... this is getting intricate.
She's just going to dig in there.
She's got to kill a lot of people for this whiskey.
Maybe she made some wish that by the time that she wants it, the tree will have died 5 years earlier. And then years into its death, it became a storm tree fall risk. So the city decommissioned the tree and pulled the tree down with a tractor. And it was the day that she wanted to go get it that the tractor would pull it down. And then, like, in its roots, when it's uprooted and on its side, she just pulls out the bottle.
And by then she's super strong and she can lift the entire barrel.
She just planned it. She planned it.
Man, B is good.
She's had a lot of time to plan things. See, like, we're sitting here as two intelligent people coming up with ideas, but she has had years, decades, centuries to plan this stuff out. And she might have, with just one sacrifice, she might have picked up $1 million. So she might not need money for 20 years, living on $50,000 a year, right? So in other words, like, she's not going to work. When she's not babysitting, she's just sitting around mapping shit out.
We should tweet the writer and ask him.
He'll be like, guys, I never thought about it that deeply. Like, it would be disappointing.
Yeah, I don't want to get the answer. And
like, yeah, I only want a satisfying answer. I only want the good answer.
I like our theory about her, though.
I'm telling you, like, when you said how old is she, you just opened the floodgates of possibilities, and it's true.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Do you think she's been around forever? She knows a car is coming. Do you think she did that on purpose to make Cole think that he was successful because she had to run away anyway? So maybe now she just gave Cole strength. Her final act of kindness was to just be like, I gotta leave anyway. I don't want him dead. And everyone's gonna think I'm dead. So this is what I'm gonna do for him.
That's very altruistic of her.
Because to be hit by the car, she just had to watch that car. It went from 0 to 80 in 50 feet, by the way. No, it did. The car went 0 to 80 in 50 feet. But she would have had to have watched that entire process by a window for her to get smushed.
Well, maybe she was just so shocked, like she didn't understand what she was looking at.
A car speeding towards her?
Look, she could have lived 300 years. I don't think she's seen this happen before.
She's like, I'm gonna wait this out.
I think she is like the squirrel when it's crossing the street and it freezes and it looks at your car and you're like, I'm gonna hit that poor thing. I think maybe she just froze.
Just watch that thing barrel roll onto her.
I don't know.
If you ever did that to me, I'd run.
Well, I guess you have a faster reaction time than B.
Well, it's like you with the fish, the axes being dunked in fish.
Oh, that's a drop kick though. That's just my gut reaction. I know to drop kick that.
You wouldn't be in shock?
Before the axe is in the fish, I am in the air with my feet pointed at that person.
What happened to Ray? Oh well, he got injured again. Tried to dunk his axe into a fish.
John drop kicked him.
Wait, they know you?
Yep. Oh yeah, they've heard a drop kick John.
Why are you fighting Ray? This is a reference from our first podcast, by the way. And it's in regards to Snowpiercer. So look up Snowpiercer axe and fish.
I have probably referenced drop kicking someone like they just dipped an axe into a poison fish, like in 20 of our podcasts now. That is like such a weirdly obscure thing to become my mainstay reference.
Do you have any final thoughts about Babysitter?
I mean, I really loved it. I could not have imagined loving it that much. The characters are wonderful. This is, in my opinion, way more of a comedy than a horror, even though it's still clearly well horror elemented. And this struck me, the humor in this and the way the characters were delivered is over the top as they sometimes were. They still felt very real. This struck me as McG using the script as a way to maybe deliver everything that he loves about, if he's a parent, fatherhood, if he's married, marriage, and adolescence. I don't know, like just the interactions from all stages. They all seem very effective to me, on top of this being a hilarious, gory, ridiculous horror comedy. I mean, this was like a Shrek onion. This had a lot of layers.
Oh, brother.
I was very pleased with this.
Yeah, I just think it's it's worth watching just because it knows what it is immediately. And that's interesting. I've just never seen anything like that. I think the acting's good. Samara Weaving's good. I think there's some good lines in it. I mean, it is a shallow movie, but that's what it was intended to be. And I think what they set out to make is what got made. And I think that's a testament to, Netflix and McG and the writer. So, no, I dug it. Would you recommend it?
Oh, absolutely. I'd recommend this to horror fans and even to people who don't like horror.
What about fans of Foghat?
Were there any Foghat songs in this?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I Just Want to Make Love to You. Dun,
Oh, no.
dun, 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 dun. Actually, I wrote a post on Movies, Films, and Flicks called Movies That Feature Foghat. You should, type in Movies, Films, and Flicks Foghat. I gotta add Babysitter in there. It was big.
I'd recommend this to just about anyone, though.
What about Ray?
Is to Ray.
Yeah.
Well, he better just leave his axe at the door if he wants to get through the movie. Just eat the fish, dude. Keep that axe away from the fish. You need it drop kicked.
Any plugs before we get going out of here?
Yeah, I just got a couple. Crash Palace was just doing their podcast, The Last Knock. That's Billy Crash and Johnny Numb. They were talking about the ruins. And, of course, they gave us a nice shout-out, as they very often do. But I thought it was interesting that they loved The Ruins, that 2007-2008 movie. And I swear, Mark, I thought I was the only person in the world who loves The Ruins. And it turns out there are other people out there who actually like The Ruins. And I'd also like to give a shout out to Dave Koenig. I gave him a holler a couple episodes ago. He's a fiend on film on Twitter. He just did his second magazine edition of Asian Cinema Takeout, which is a mix of all genres of Asian movies. And my Train to Busan article got featured in that fanzine, and he's taken submissions right now for his third edition of Asian Cinema Takeout. And he's always been real nice. He loves sharing our material, not just on Twitter, on Facebook. He's all over it. He's always got comments. So thanks a lot, Dave. Thanks, Billy Crash. Thanks, Johnny Numb. And all of them are cool on Facebook and Twitter. You should find them and follow them.
David Thompson.
David Thompson, the man with the questions.
Yeah, thank you, Dave. Thank you to everyone listening to this. Head to iTunes, go to Movies, Films, and Flicks, FLIX. Rate, review, and subscribe. We'd love it if you just spend a couple moments doing that for us. And next week, we will be talking about Deadpool 2. So if you have any questions about Deadpool 2, send them in. Also, on Friday or Saturday, check Rotten Tomatoes. I wrote a really fun article about the profanity of Deadpool 2 and the violence. So I talked about the violence in Blade, Hit Girl, Logan, and Deadpool, and I also talked about the amount of swear words and wrote a really fun post that I can't believe that let me swear so much in on a thing. So give that a read, and then also send us any questions you have it. Also, let us know the Kurt Russell movie we should talk about. And yeah, thank you guys. John, this was fun.
It's always fun.
We had some banter in this one, yo.
Banter is all we speak.
All right, so for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, and John, Predator, Invisible, Line Dancing, Levingood, this is the Movies, Film, the Flakes. Bye.